Welcome back. Today we're talking about customer service and how you can improve customer service in the workplace. Okay, I've been in business for 13 years now. I've made some mistakes, I've learned from them, and I've done some things right. So by the end of this episode, you'll have some better ideas of how you can better take care of your customers. Have you heard the phrase, the customer is always right? See, I fought against that for years. I thought, all right, so I've got this agreement. I put in there very specific terms, and if the customer deviates from that, then clearly I am right. The customer's not right. They don't get to dictate. Okay, that got me into some trouble. In fact, there used to be a website that a disgruntled customer, now I was actually in the right. Now technically, I did not do anything wrong. I did everything that it was agreed to, okay? But this customer was upset, and because I had to be right, and all I did was I focused on defending myself, guess what website he created? He created a website, NateWoodburySucks.com. And that actually hurt my business. It really hurt my business for a while, so much so that eventually I reached out to this guy, and I listened to him, and we came to a common ground, and he took the website down. That's all it took. That's all it took. I actually never had to change my agreement or give in to things that weren't fair. I just had to listen to him, hear his side. Instead of trying to defend myself, I really just had to humble myself and just, right? Because I was pushed into that corner because he had that website there. You know, similar circumstances with different clients that weren't as extreme, but I've really had to soften on my stance that the customer is always wrong, right? Or accept it more that the customer is in the right, because they're the one paying the money and they know what their expectations are. And so even if their expectations are wrong, I did a bad job of setting up those expectations. One of the greatest skills that I have learned in recent years is seeking to understand. So instead of trying to defend myself, if I can ask questions just really to try and understand, and thinking about it in reverse, I love being understood. I love it when people ask questions because they want to understand. And when two people can have a conversation where they really understand each other, we can express our side of it. We can express our opinion. We can express where we come from when we really understand them. And when we understand them, when people feel heard, then there's not anger, then there's not problems. Okay, so I'm a big systems guy. I love efficiency. That's part of the reason why we create systems, to make things more efficient. But I love systematizing customer experience. I love creating a system that, for example, every Monday we send this type of report for our client, or every Thursday I send out an email to my list, right? So there's systems that you can create that can improve your customer service. Every time I get this type of inquiry, this is the way that I respond. These are the steps that I follow. When I first read the book, The E-Myth Revisited, there's this story that just stuck in my mind. It painted such a beautiful picture. So Michael Gerber, I believe it's a story of his own experience. He was staying at this hotel on the Pacific coast of the United States. It was somewhere, it was a forested area, not a big city, but beautiful views. But he painted this picture of walking into the lobby of this hotel, and the decoration, the music, the level of the lighting, everything was just so inviting and so warm. And when he went up to the counter, the way that he was greeted, he talked about the lighting from one building to the next, because where the restaurant was separate from the main building. And so there was a trail through the forest and there was lighting, but the lighting adjusted according to the time of day so that it would be to the perfect amount of lighting. And he just said everything that they systematized was so magical. When he went back to his room, he'd been in his room before and he saw how it was set up. Well, he went in there after dinner and somebody had gone in and lit the fire in the fireplace, and they put slippers out and they left a treat. So there were just different things that were systematized into the customer service. So learning that story, it really painted a picture for me of like, man, I want to do more than just provide my service and fulfill on my obligations, but I want to create an experience that they will remember, that they will really feel. So in thinking about your customers, whether they're happy customers or customers that are having a problem, ask yourself these questions, like, how do they feel? Do they feel heard? What has been their experience? And then think about, beyond that, what could I have done or what could I do now to improve that experience? And what system can I create to make sure that other people that go through the same experience can have a better one? Here's another suggestion for you. Sometimes when something is going wrong or our clients don't do something right, we'll give them a critique. It's like, hey, I noticed that you've done this. Let's tweak that. Let's improve that for next time. Or let's make this change on your website. So we're pointing out the flaws, the things that need to be fixed. And that's important to do, but equally or even more important is to compliment them on the things that are going right or that they are doing right. So an example of something that I do on YouTube, I like to go into their analytics and look at their stats, and I look at the amount of search traffic that they're getting. And when we follow my strategy, what typically happens is you'll see in this month, we're getting this amount of search traffic. In the next month, it's bigger. And the month after that, it's even bigger. And so I show them that. I know how to navigate there and pull that up on the screen, and I take a screen capture recording and say, look at this. All this work that we're putting into it is paying off. Look at how your search traffic is increasing. Or I might review one of the videos that they recorded, and I'll look at an intro and say, wow, that intro created a lot of curiosity. Or they might deliver a call to action. It's like, wow, when you talked about this book that you're giving away for free, it made me really want it. You delivered that so well. So as we're talking about customer service, I found that being proactive and doing things like that really helps to improve the experience that our customers are having. I did make another video, I'll link to it right up here, about asynchronous communication. I love using tools where I can quickly and efficiently send a custom message to one of my clients. I can just turn on my screen recorder like I mentioned and talk to them specifically and send it to them without having to schedule an appointment or something that would really fill up my schedule. I can send custom communications that really make an impact. Now, just like that hotel on the Pacific Coast, they created systems so that every one of their guests had that same experience. That's because they planned it out in advance. They created systems. They bought tools for dimmer switches on the lights. Their routine of, okay, when somebody goes to the restaurant, we're going to send the message over there so they can go get their fire started. I mean, whatever those systems are, if you systematize it in your business, then you can make sure that every customer, every client of yours has that same magical experience. When you do have a customer that's disappointed, that's upset, or didn't get the results that they were expecting, that's an opportunity for you to learn. You can do your best to try and fix it for them, but you can definitely fix it so that moving forward, if another customer or client has that experience, that it's a better experience for them. Now, when you've created a system like this, be sure to write it down. Just outline the different steps, the different things that you do. When this happens, this is what we do. Okay, write it down. So then when you hire somebody new and they're going through training, you can simply hand it to them. You can show them your system. They can make sure that these systems or the way that you're taking care of your customers gets passed on. Well, now, I have a gift for you. I want to give you my book for free. Now, we call this free plus shipping. So the cost to print a full color book is actually pretty expensive, a lot more expensive than I thought, but I had to do my book in color. As long as you pay the printing and the shipping costs wherever you are in the world, no profit to me. This book is my gift to you. Now, what is this book? This book is to help you leverage YouTube to generate leads for your business. And you know the story behind this book, the 2 years of work I put into it. This will help you generate typically about $10,000 for every 100 views you get on YouTube when you follow the steps in this book. So that's my gift to you. Go to natesyoutubebook.com.